Welcome back, folks. Hope you're well. Happy New Year and all that. Hope you've had a good Christmas and a good break. I've had a nice few weeks off photography since coming back from Glen Affric. Just a nice break over Christmas. Put the camera down. Not that I'd have probably wanted to get out anyway, because it's just been absolutely pouring down for 3 weeks. But it's nice just to have a break now and again. But starting off 2024 as we mean to go on, so just out for a shoot this morning. No expectations, just keeping it nice and easy, and just seeing what we can find. Conditions aren't bad, to be honest. What I wanted to do actually is come down to an area that's known for flooding, because as I say, we've had a lot of rain lately, and there's some quite interesting stuff where I'm going down to in terms of like sunken trees and nice close-ups of flooded areas and that sort of thing. But as I say, no expectations today, just getting out and doing a bit of shooting. I didn't do a whole review of the year type video because I know they can be a bit tedious. I will talk a little bit about 2023 later on in this video, and some of the things that I've got planned for 2024 and what you can expect to see on the channel. But for now, let's get cracking and go and do some photography. Now, I wasn't coming out with the intention of this being like an under pressure kind of shoot. I've just come out for a bit of a mosey along the shoreline here and just was going to see what was what and just get back into it. But conditions have actually, for 20 minutes there, been absolutely brilliant. It's still really nice now. I'd come down here, as I was saying earlier, hoping that the water levels would be really high in the Manistee area and hoping to do a few sort of close-up shots with some sunken flooded trees, but the water level's a little higher, and I've come around to this sapling which I've shot quite a few times over the years, and actually did a little bit of this spot on a video last year, and the water levels are absolutely perfect. Sapling is just sort of stood out of the water just nicely, flooded around it, and then we've got mirror calm reflections, which is really nice. Not something I really chase, to be honest, but for this sort of shot you kind of need them really. But as an added bonus, we had some mist drifting across there for a little bit, which was absolutely lovely, and we've now got a little bit of light as well, so I've been taking a few shots there, just getting different variations of it, and I'm gonna grab a few more here. I'll just pop you in the camera so you can see what we're looking at. Now, this sapling, as I was saying there, it's very dependent on the water level. It really needs high water around it. What happens when you've got conditions like today, when you've got reflections, is you need to keep retreating up the bank to get the top of the sapling off the line of the reflection, or as best you can anyway, so they're not fighting each other. On an overcast day, when you haven't got them reflections, you can get a little lower down, closer to the shoreline, and you've got a little bit more flexibility. So as I say, I've just had to keep retreating up the bank a little bit and just varying my focal length. There is one thing that always bugs me about this shot a little bit, and there's no way of getting around it really, is Waller Crag in the distance there, especially in the morning when the sun hasn't quite got up enough. It's always in deep shadow, and because you've got a dark tree and then quite a dark area of hillside mountain there, they can kind of compete a little bit. So sometimes it's better to shoot this in the afternoon where that area of the scene is a bit better lit and it's not competing with the tree. So the shots that I've been taking this morning, I've just had to kind of keep moving to the right a little bit just to get Waller Crag out of the shot. But fortunately we've had some lovely light over on Skiddaw, little bits of mist, as I say, passing by there, and now we've got some lovely light. So I'm going to show you the best ones here. They've all been shot at about 35 to 60 millimeter, something like that. So the odd one or two might need a focus stack. But yeah, stick these on the screen. Let me know what you think. Right, I think I've probably had the best of that, to be honest. The sun does keep poking out and tempting me a little bit, so I am going to wait it out here for a little bit longer. I won't film that because, you know, as nice as this scene is, there's only so many variations on it before you start boring yourself. But I have spied a little bit of sunken driftwood a little bit further along the bay, so I think we'll have a little walk over there and investigate and see if there's something worth shooting. If I get anything better from here, obviously I'll put it on the screen now, but I'll catch up with you in a bit. Alright, so I've had a little wander out to that little bit of, I don't know if it's a driftwood or sapling or what, but anyway, the long and short of it is I can't shoot it because it's further into the water than I thought it would be, and it would require waders basically, and truth be told I don't think it's that interesting. Behind me is this area that I was talking about shooting earlier. Now, it's one of those where I think there's an image in there, but the water level just isn't quite high enough. I am going to persevere with it, and I won't bore you with the filming of me trying to find an image in here in case I don't get one. But I think they're just a little too low. I'm probably about 2 or 3 days late. The thing with Derwent water is it's quite a shallow lake, and the water level goes up and down very quickly. So you only have to miss the sweet spot by 1 or 2 days, and the shot doesn't work. So I'm going to have a little explore in here and see if I can find something. But if I don't, I think what we'll do is we'll head back to the PC and have a look at some of these images that I've shot this morning. Okay, so here we are back in the gallery, and looking at this footage, I really must get some better lighting in here. I don't know if I've said this before, but I'm going to do more of these pieces to camera in the shop. I really need some better lighting. But anyway, I showed you that colour image earlier on in the video, and having revisited it, to be honest, I think it suits black and white better, to be honest. Now, that's a subjective thing, or a personal preference, whatever you want to call it. But yeah, having looked at it, there was a couple of things I wasn't quite happy with, so I just thought I'd show you this one that's on the screen. Now, one thing I've done is I've cropped in from the right hand side a bit as well. We had some lovely light going on in the right hand side around Blencathra, and with the first shot that I showed you, I think I'm probably a bit guilty there of just trying to show you too much. And even though the light's really nice, I think it almost pulls your eye a little bit. And I think also having the tree placed centrally, that would have worked better if there wasn't something catching your eye on the frame edge. So what I've done is I've cropped in from the right. This is more of like a 5x4 crop, and I've converted to black and white. Now, normally I don't use presets, but this scene, with having kind of so little going on in it, I actually just used the black and white preset in Lightroom. I think it's number 2, whatever that is, but it's basically giving me quite a high key look, which is what I'm after really here, and just wanting to draw your attention to the main subject in the bottom of the frame, which is the sapling. So really not a lot needing doing with that, to be honest, but I don't know what you think, let me know in the comments, but I think personally, on reflection, this suits a black and white better. So I thought I'd just show you that at the end of this video. I mentioned about just letting you know what's coming up in 2024 for me on the channel, and a few other bits and bobs of housekeeping. Firstly, the book. Now, I mentioned at the end of the summer that it was my intention to produce, spit it out, it was my intention to produce a book. That's still the case. It's pretty much finalised now. I'm just waiting for a date from the printers, and then it will be ready to go. So I'll be putting an email out to my mailing list in due course to let you know when that's available for pre-order. But I'm hoping, you know, the next sort of 6 weeks or so to get that finalised. So yeah, really looking forward to getting going with that. The ebook is now finished. That'll be going out at the end of January. 50-60 pages, and it'll be aimed at sort of beginners and intermediates. It'll be priced very reasonably, and hopefully you'll find that of use as well. Again, that'll go out to my mailing list to let you know when that's available to buy. My latest newsletter is out. In there's a roundup of 2023. I did say I wasn't going to do like a whole long video because, to be honest, I think they're a bit tedious. But in there's a nice sort of recap of last year, and also there's an Edit My Raw challenge. Now I did this a couple of years ago, and it was really popular. I've chosen an image from Glen Affric, which personally I found a bit of a nightmare to process. Hoarfrost images are really tricky. The colours are really quite brittle, and if you push them ever so slightly too far, the image ends up looking a bit silly. So I thought that would be a bit of a challenge for people, but do have a look at that. A link in the description for my newsletter. If you enter that, I'll pick the 3 favourites, and one of them will win an A2 print. In terms of trips and stuff for me going forward, as I'm filming this, as soon as I'm finished here, I'm heading up to Assynt for a week. Hopefully I'll get a couple of videos done from there. I'm away to Harris, leading a workshop with Mark Littlejohn at the end of February. I may do a little bit of filming up there, maybe something with Mark as well, a bit of a collaboration. So that should be good. And then straight after that, 2 days later, I'm away to Lofoten again for 10 days. So again, a bit more videoing getting done there. So busy times ahead, but I just thought I'd do a nice, easy, relaxed video for you to start the new year. And yeah, I wish you all the best with your photography this year. Hope it's a good one for you. And I'll be next back on here, hopefully with a video from Assynt. So in the meantime, take care, look after yourselves, and I'll see you on the next one.